Hey guys, I just wanted to check in with you and go over sort of my expectations. Got a couple emails so far this morning. So I just wanted to send a video, record my screen, kind of going through the documents. That way, maybe I can answer a few questions before you have them. The first thing that you should do is read this poetry distance learning cover letter. It kind of explains everything here. Just quickly go over it. Number one, feel free to send me an email from 8 to 3. It's just like a normal work day. I have to, and I will be in contact during those times if you ever have any questions. But this is, I guess, the important stuff here is every Monday I will assign a week's worth of work. So I won't be putting stuff out daily for you. On Mondays, I already have it pre-released to be put on Google Classroom at 8 o'clock a.m. So we'll be there. And it's been drastically reduced, as you can see. I mean, they said that we need to plan on giving you about 3 hours worth of work a week or 30 minutes a day. I don't think this will be quite that much. So it's been reduced. Feel free to do this stuff whenever. It will be, I guess, due would be that following Monday. So I'm assigning it. So stuff I assigned this morning at 8 will be due next Monday at 8. If you can't meet that guideline, just let me know. It's really not a big deal. I really want you to work at your own pace here. So we'll look at week 1 here. This is going to be a pretty normal week for us. This is what your assignment is going to look like. So each week I'm going to assign 2 different poems. So the poems will be right here. It's a link to it. I didn't want to copy and paste the links because then the document would get too long. So these would bring you to the actual poem itself. All right, you'd read the poem. Okay, you want to obviously read it a couple times to understand it. I should go back here. Actually, before you read the poem, each one has a pre-reading question. So this is just like in class where we'd sit down, we'd discuss some stuff before we started reading the poem. So each week for each poem, there'll be a pre-reading question. So this one is talking about the loss of innocence. And how you grow up, you just tend to lose your innocence. You get a little hardened. You're not as naive. So this one I want you to think back to your 9th grade year. What are some things that maybe you didn't know then that you know now? No, don't give me like a concrete answer like advanced algebra or something like that. We're talking about just like your observations on the world, things like that. Just what are some things that a little naive 9th grader you didn't understand that now as mature senior you do understand? All right, so you put your answer here. Same thing for the second poem. You're going to put it here. Once you've done that, then you'll read the poem. Okay, so it's the first poem called Snow. Once you read it, which is quite fitting with the snow that we just got, and then this is the post-reading question right here. So once you read the poem, this is the question that you need to answer on Flipgrid. Okay, so this one is obviously the last line shows the young boy's innocence, but examine it deeper. What adult concepts does the boy not understand? All right, so you want to think about it. And, if I were you, I would jot down a few notes. That way, once you got on camera, you didn't stutter and stammer your way through it. So once you've thought about that and you have a pretty good idea, go to Flipgrid. I don't know how yours looks on your end. This is obviously mine. So here's week 1 response, right? Same thing. And then you'll just record your response. I think I have it set up for like a minute and a half. I don't think you'll need more time than that. Some of you might. And if you don't fill up the whole minute and a half, that's fine. I would just rather have you speak it than write it. So once you've done that, we have our second poem here. Same exact thing, where you have a pre-reading question. You'll read the poem. This one's actually by Tupac. I love this poem. You'll read the poem, and then you will answer the question here on Flipgrid. All right, so those are the 2 poems that we'll be reading. And each week I'll just have a very short 4-line poem writing assignment. Just write a 4-line poem that describes the setting sun. All right, I'm starting off pretty easy with you here. You can have it rhyme if you want. It can be free verse. It doesn't have to rhyme. But I'm trying to limit the quantity. Hopefully we can have high quality. I'm just asking you to write 4 lines. That's it. So every week this will be your assignment. Write 2 poems. Each poem will have 2 questions, and then 1 weekly poem writing assignment. And I think what I'll do also is at the end of the week, I will answer these post-reading questions. So I think I can record a response too. So at the end of it, I'll record my response, and I'm sure you guys will be really interested to know what I have to say about the poem. So once I do that, feel free to take a look at it. But that is basically what a week will look like. And then on next Monday, when that stuff is due, another week will pop up. There'll be 2 more poems, each one having 2 questions apiece, and then just a weekly poem writing assignment. So hopefully that clears it up a little bit. If you guys have any questions at all, please ask, email me. If you want to do a face-to-face, I can figure out a way to do that. I'm not super familiar with it, but I can certainly figure out a way to do a face-to-face over the computer as well. But hopefully this makes sense, and if you guys have any questions, please ask.